Good evening, welcome to Central News for Friday the 21st of February. I'm Hilary Entwistle. The Port of Tauranga today announced an interim dividend of 21 cents per share on the strength of half-yearly results, showing both trade and profit increasing. The 5% dividend increase is on the back of Port of Tauranga's Limited's record net profit after tax of $39.3 million for the 6 months to December 2013. Port of Tauranga Chairman David Pilkington says Port of Tauranga is very well positioned for its next phase of growth. A Hamilton nutritionist is concerned about the state of New Zealand's health and believes education is the key. Jake Campus would like to see nutrition classes being introduced to the New Zealand education curriculum and believes 30 minutes a week is all that is needed to turn the obesity epidemic around.
Personally, I believe it's got to do with education and economics. So, education, New Zealanders don't understand food. You ask a New Zealander how much water they should be drinking per day, they probably couldn't tell you. It's 8 cups, which is 2 litres. You ask a New Zealander what's 5+ a day, well they say fruit and veggie, but it's actually 2 fruit, 3 vegetables. We don't get a good understanding of how carbs and proteins work and what is a carb and what is a protein, and how best to use that for overall health. With New Zealand, I think we should start from the ground up, starting in schools, educating kids. It could take us 30 minutes a week designing little modules on, hey, this is what a protein is, this is what a carb is. Kids know what to do when there's an earthquake, yet they don't know how much water they should be drinking or what foods they should be eating. I think it's vital from 5 years old through to 15 years old, we teach children a little bit about food and how it works with your body throughout the week. With that, I think also economics, obviously there's lower socioeconomic status and also the cost of living in New Zealand is a little bit higher than some other countries, so it does make healthier food more expensive, or some believe that, but we also need education to the families and to the homeowners of how to make things cheaper but still healthy and taste good for a full family.
Now for our marine forecast for the weekend. Saturday, the west coast developing early Saturday northwest 15 knots. Changing late Saturday to a southwest 15 knots, rising. High tide is 5 to 4 on Saturday afternoon. Bay of Plenty east coast, northeast 10 knots, dying away at night. Early drizzle, afternoon and evening showers, some heavy and possibly thundery. Saturday high tide for you Tauranga is 1:12. West coast Sunday 25 knots with rough sea, southwest swell becoming moderate on Sunday. High tide in Raglan is 5:02 in the evening. Bay of Plenty changing southwest 25 knots early, easing to 15 knots at night. Showers clearing, then fine. And your high tide in Tauranga is 2:02 on Sunday. Just ahead, the fight to remove the Rena. Welcome to Central News on TV Central. The Rena owner Diana Shipping and insurer the Swedish Club will seek resource consent to leave one half of the wreck on the sunken cargo ship on the Astrolabe Reef. Local iwi are prepared to fight. Buddy Makaere, the spokesperson for Ngai Te Hapu, now wants the government to come clean about a secret deal with Diana Shipping. I spoke with him about what effects he thinks the wreck would have on the ecosystem of the reef.
On the ecosystem, we can go on what the scientists tell us, and they say to us that there's no guarantee that that will be something that you can safely leave in the environment. It's quite a robust environment out there. There's lots of waves and things, so lots of wave action. There are a whole lot of different chemicals involved in that wreck, both as carried as cargo and in which we use subsequently. There's this real nasty oil dispersant called Corex at 9500, which was used to disperse the oil that was spilt from the wreck. It's been linked to deaths and serious illnesses in the Gulf of Mexico, which is where it was last used in big quantities. There are things like copper filings, of which there was a substantial amount in the cargo. Nobody has actually measured what impact that might have on marine sediments, so the health of the reef could put at risk. We have no guarantees that the toxins in the marine paint on the hull are safe. We've been told that no, they've been painted over, but you know, they will deteriorate over time, and we'll have flakes of this paint floating around the roof, doing who knows what. They say, well, it's too difficult to recover that, but you know, I can guarantee you that if those flakes were flakes of gold, there would be a system to recover every single one of them. So, you know, we just don't buy the kind of arguments that are being put up. And surely the best way to give everybody assurances that there is no risk is to take it away.
They have offered to improve the infrastructure on Motiti Island. Do you think you'll take that offer?
Well, I mean, on the surface it sounds quite generous, but the quid pro quo is that you people stop objecting to us leaving the wreck there and go away. So, you know, you either preserve your integrity by saying no, thank you very much for the offer, but unless it's given with no strings attached, it just looks like a bribe. So, thanks for playing.
Do you find it offensive?
Offensive. It's culturally very offensive. The reef is regarded as a taonga. It's been one of the things that's sustained life on the island for centuries. In the days before the RENA and even subsequently, it's a very it's a terrific marine resource. The fish life there and shellfish and various other things are just amazing. And so it's been a unique fishing spot to supply the island with food many years. And as people have found out subsequently, it's one of the more popular fishing spots around the Bay of Plenty.
We will bring you more of that interview next week. Wallace Gallery has new exhibitions opening, including the 22nd Annual Art Awards. Gallery manager Leah Murphy spoke with Anne-Marie about what to expect.
Leah Murphy from the Wallace Art Gallery in Morrinsville. Welcome to Central News.
Thank you.
You've got some fantastic new exhibitions coming up in February and March. But firstly, I just want to touch on the Wallace Art Awards. Tell me about those.
The Wallace Art Awards is New Zealand's longest standing art competition. It was the 22nd year last year, which is amazing, and the prize pool is almost $200,000 worth of prizes, which are actually artist residencies around the world. So every year hundreds of people apply for it. They select about 70 as finalists, and the winning person is a very, very lucky person because they get to go to New York for 6 months to have an artist residency.
Wow, and you've got the finalists exhibiting at the Wallace Gallery in Morrinsville, haven't you?
We do. It's starting on the 27th of February and we'll go through to the end of April, and that's the 70 odd finalists that have a travelling exhibition through the country, so we're very lucky to be able to get that coming to us.
You've got two stunning collections coming up in the main gallery.
We do.
Tell me about John Fitzgerald.
John Fitzgerald is an amazing photographer. He's based in Hamilton and does beautiful rural landscapes, mainly of the Waikato and Coromandel region. So there's some absolutely delicious works there from him.
And James Robinson.
James is a Dunedin-based artist who does mixed media abstract works, and his have a political and environmental undertone or message.
When you say mixed media, what do you mean?
It's a lot of paint and polyurethane materials. It's quite a collection of work. It's 3D as such.
What I love about the Wallace Gallery, what's my favourite aspect, is the community gallery. I love how the schools get to exhibit. And coming up is my old school, St Joseph's in Morrinsville,
Awesome.
and also Matamata College. What can we expect?
Well, yes, firstly, the community gallery is great because it changes every 2 weeks, so having that high turnover means everyone can get a chance to exhibit there. For the Matamata College exhibition, every year they do portraits of their staff members. The Year 10 class do that, so it's titled House of Horrors, which I think is quite cool. And the teacher provides a portrait photograph and the kids paint it, so that's been going for 4 years now, so it's a selection of the best over the 4 years, I guess. And St Joseph's School school are getting on board to do a Catholic-based exhibition, and they're just having a massive range from the entire school. So it's going to be bursting with colour, that room.
Do you have a lot of people coming in just to see those exhibitions?
We do. We find that when the schools are exhibiting, we get a lot of parents, grandparents. The kids get really proud and drag their grandparents down to point at their work on the wall. So we do definitely see a different type of people come in over that time, and also a lot of parents and grandparents, as well as the kids, they come in as well.
Coming up next, the mascot wanting a new stadium. Welcome back. The Chiefs will not play any home games at Bay Park Stadium, opting to play in New Plymouth instead. The announcement has sparked new debate about whether Tauranga needs a new stadium. I spoke with Hori Bob, a long-time advocate of a new rugby stadium.
Wow, totally frustrated because we've always thought that the Chiefs coming across here for the Easter Super 15 games, it's brilliant for the city, especially when the Jazz Festival's on, everyone's in town having a great time, you all truck on out here. Taranaki understand the value of big events in their city. They've gone after the Chiefs, they've got 2 good games there, it does wonders for the city. We're in the desert, we're out in the cold again, and everyone's going on about being the 5th largest city. We have to behave like that now. Somehow we have to get a stadium, a purpose-built stadium, get to where we're going. How? This is for us to all answer.
Why do you think then that they decided not to play here?
Oh, it was a commercial decision. Taranaki basically bought those 2 games, but more importantly, they had the facilities to hold those games. They can hold an All Black match, and that's why I'm dressing as an All Black in my All Black jersey. Not necessarily to say we want All Black games here, but to say we want the Warriors here, we want the Phoenix here, we want the All Blacks here, let's just start with the Chiefs. Let's just get the Chiefs here. Taranaki stole them off us because they've got purpose-built facilities, great facilities, and they're proactive and went out after it. That's what we've got to do as a region. But to start that process, we've got to start the process of getting a purpose-built stadium in here without costing the ratepayers an arm and a leg.
You did campaign on this issue when you were out and about. What was the general consensus from the public?
I would say it was more than 50-50 in support for the stadium. Probably more 60 to 70% were in favour of it. Now, am I showing a little bit of bias? Possibly, but I got a huge amount of support. Everyone was saying, yes, let's do it. There was a few people saying, we can't afford it. And I understand that, and I appreciate those people's concerns. So let's find a way of achieving it without costing the ratepayers an arm and a leg. I'm all for that, but let's just achieve it. Now, how we do that is open for public concern. This is what I want people to debate. I want to get a board together to openly debate this whole process and take the community and people of Tauranga or the Western Bay with us, because if we don't take the people with us, we're not going to get to where we want to go. So how we get there, well, let's people give me some answers. I've got some answers for you later on, but I want to hear other people's answers as well, and let's just find the best plan forward.
We will be talking to Mayor Stuart Crosby soon about his plans for a new stadium. Engaging and empowering young people through outdoor experiences may seem like a big ask. However, the Perry Outdoor Education Trust aims to do just that. Manager Karen Singers joined Anne-Marie to discuss how Poet is supporting low decile schools in this way.
Karen Singers, manager of the Perry Outdoor Education Trust. Welcome to Central News. Now, Poet, as it's known, is the chosen charity for the Avanti Drome Rev Cycling Festival. Tell me about that.
Oh, we're so excited. This is a wonderful opportunity for us. We are able to be linked to this amazing event. We also get the opportunity to be at the registration, which is going to be at the Avanti Drome, so the new Avanti Drome. So that's really exciting. So we're there on Friday the 21st at the registration. And then on the 22nd, the day of the race, we will be at the finish line and we'll be promoting our organisation. And I'm we're running a slackline challenge. I don't know if you know, so there'll be a bit of a fun activity there. And as well as we've got volunteers from some of the schools that we support, and we'll be running the car park, so it's a gold coin donation.
Brilliant.
And yeah, anything that is given on the day is directly for us in the work that we do. So
Poet is committed to keeping costs low for outdoor education experiences for low decile schools. Now, with regards to the camps that you assist in funding, would some of the children who go on these camps otherwise miss out?
absolutely. We promote a place responsive approach, so we're talking about where possible it's as local as possible, it's got a local connection, it's relevant to the students. So, you know, for example, Waikato students, you know, using the river, using Te Awa or the cycleways that are already in place, and so we keep it low. But unfortunately, there are still students out there that whose families can't even afford those subsidised costs. So we really make sure that no one misses out. So we're promoting the whole of a cohort, the whole of a year group gets to go, and it's not based on money. That's not to say there's not an expectation that it's just free. There is an expectation, and at the senior level, and more so in our junior levels, we're looking at community services as part of that giving back of students, getting the opportunity, because it is the wider community and our fantastic funders, community funders, Lion Foundation and Brian Perry Charitable were two main ones. They give us the opportunity to support these kids and these students in the schools. So with sort of some kind of payback to the local community, it might be tree planting, it might, those kinds of activities are really key to making those connections and understanding that they're and valuing the opportunities that they're getting here.
It's a fantastic, empowering initiative. Karen, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
If you have just joined us, welcome to Central News. Earlier in the week, we talked with a local alcohol action advocate, Dr. Tony Farrell, about the new online drinking game, Nick Nominate. Tonight, some interesting facts about alcohol for leading into the weekend and whether Nick Nominate is a new concept.
Not to my knowledge, but I mean, I have seen, you know, clips of people, you know, drinking heavily, lots of shots and that sort of thing. One of the things that I am concerned about is the sort of alcohol industry using Facebook as ways of auto-advertising, where the client's actually doing their own advertising. So they can text each other and say it's all happening at this venue, and people line up. And I know that some venues have photographers showing lots of party shots so that they reinforce to young people that it's all happening there, and that's actually increasing, you know, drinking and exacerbating the drinking culture.
Do you think then that social media has changed the way we drink?
Well, I understand that the industry has invested a lot in social media, and there are a lot of you know, alcohol-related images that come up on people's screens that they're not really aware of. But I think social media is really problematic in terms of reinforcing alcohol consumption through advertising.
How much is a lethal dose of alcohol?
Potential lethal dose is between 20 standard drinks. Between 20 and 30, anything above 30 is getting pretty risky. So 30 standard drinks would be 3/4 of a bottle of scotch, so half a bottle of scotch. And one of the real worries is that a lot of people preload and they drink, you know, RTDs, about 2.5 standard drinks each. So a lot of young people will drink 12 of those before they go out, and potential lethal dose before they even start. So that's of major concern. And, you know, we have had deaths over the last few years of good young people, but just, you know, drinking riskily and actually dying.
Do you think there is a bit of confusion around what a standard drink is then?
I don't think so. I'm finding a lot of young people know what a standard drink is now. I think there's more education there. But the fact that you know what a standard drink is doesn't really change drinking. The things that change drinking are, you know, getting rid of advertising, you know, denormalising alcohol, not glamorising it. Good information, you know, such that it causes cancer, fetal alcohol syndrome, and also price. If you make the price high enough, people do definitely drink less, and that's been proven in New Zealand studies.
How do we denormalise alcohol?
Well, I think we need to institute the measures that I've just talked about. Actually, it's part of a 5+ solution, which is World Health Organisation based. So you increase the price, reduce availability, increase the drinking age, reduce advertising, and increase drink driving countermeasures, and also increase treatment opportunities for heavy drinkers. If you do those things, you will have more impact on drinking, and then I think society needs to look at, you know, we drink at work, we see alcohol as an everyday thing, we have it in supermarkets, but it's actually a high-risk drug, so we really need to respect it as a high-risk drug and put it in its place. I think at the moment the over-commercialisation has normalised it, and it's actually dangerous for society.
Right, it's the weekend and the weather is a real mixed bag. Hamilton, your Saturday, cloudy periods and late showers with a northeast breeze. Your expected high is 27 and an overnight low of 15. Paeroa, Matamata, Te Awamutu and Tokoroa, your Saturday not so nice. Showers developing in the morning, some heavy and possibly thundery easing in the evening, and southwesterlies developing. Paeroa, your expected high is 26 and an overnight low of 13. Matamata 24 and 16. Te Awamutu 29 and 14. And Tokoroa 26 and 14. Tauranga, you might be the place to be, mainly fine with a chance of drizzly patches in the evening and a northeast breeze. Your expected high is 25 and an overnight low of 17. Tupuki, early drizzle patches in the afternoon and the evening, and they may become heavy and possibly thundery in the evening. Northeasterlies dying out, your expected high is 22 and an overnight low of 17. Looking ahead to Sunday, for you Hamilton, there are southwesterlies predicted and mainly fine, but showers in early morning and late evening. Your expected high is 24 and an overnight low of a chilly 9. Paeroa, Matamata, Tokoroa and Te Awamutu, all the same with showers clearing and becoming fine. Southwesterlies dying out. Paeroa, your expected high is 25 and an overnight low of 10. Matamata 22 and 10, Te Awamutu 24 and 9, and Tokoroa 21 and a very chilly 8 of an overnight low. Tauranga mainly fine with the easterly early showers easing. Your expected high is 25 and an overnight low of 13. Te Puke, the same for you, 23 and 11 for your Sunday. That is Central News for this week. Let us know what you think of the new format to our program. We would love to hear your feedback. You can get in touch with us via email news@tvcentral.co.nz or like us on Facebook. Next week, Anne-Marie catches up with Mayor Julie Hardacre and Mayor Jim Milcrest. We have the latest on the RENA debate and plenty more from the Bay and the Waikato. I'm Hilary Entwistle. I hope you have a lovely evening and a fantastic weekend.
This has been an Alpha Media production, a division of Television Media Group.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.